Hello students, welcome back to our session. My name is Siva. Today I am going to explain about the design process of software. If you want to design any software, compulsory some techniques must and should be we need to know some concepts. So first we need to understand the concept. After that we need to design our process. Now let us start our session. Okay. Before I'm sharing, now I am reducing my video. Right. Okay. All of you please be carefully observe here. Carefully observe. Explain about the design process of your program. Explain about the design process of your program. If you want to write any program, for example, if you want to develop any project, software project, compulsory pre-plan must be required. Already we have a discussion about we had discussion in the previous class. What is that? Program development life cycle. In the program development life cycle, here we have 5 phases. What is that? First one is the design the program, and second one write the code, third one correct the syntax errors, and fourth one test the program, and next finally fifth one correct logic errors. So in these 5 phases, the first phase is very important phase because of it is a pre-plan architecture designing phase. Pre-plan architecture designing phase. First we need to understand the concept. After that we need to draw one design for the client purpose, for client understanding purpose. If client has satisfied for the design, then they will give the project for software company. So client need to understand. So for understanding client purpose, design process is very useful. So what is the options we have in the design process? What are the concepts we have? In this session we will learn. Now come down, explain about the design process of your program here, and this is our concept. The process of designing a program can be summarized in the following 2 steps. What are the 2 steps? First one, understanding the task that the program is to be performed. That means first, before doing the design, first we need to understand what is the project and what purpose we can use this project. So if we start the program, if you start writing the program, then that program, which operation need to be performed. These many steps we need to understand before writing the code. First we need to understand the concept. After that, by writing program, the program will produce that result or not. This concept we need to understand. And next one, second step is what here? Determine the steps that must be taken to perform the task. Here, don't confuse. Students, don't confuse here. Here, the 2 steps we need to understand first. The first step is what? I am conveying in Telugu also. All of you please carefully observe. Understand the task. First మనం ఏదైనా ప్రాజెక్ట్ డెవలప్ చేసేటప్పుడు కంపల్సరీగా ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్లో ఉన్న కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటి, ఎలా డెవలప్ చేయాలి, దేనికోసం ఇది డెవలప్ చేయాలి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా క్లయింట్ నుంచి మనం తెలుసుకోవాలి. First we need to get the information from the clients. So what purpose the project they using, what purpose they will use. So these type of steps we need to collect from the information. Collect that information from the clients. So clients give the concepts now. That's why. And next, determine the steps that must be taken to perform the task. If you write any code, if you want to produce any output, for that what type of programs we need to develop, that step we need to determine here. మనం ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ని డెవలప్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఎలాంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కావాలో, ఎలాంటి రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ కావాలో, ఆల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అబౌట్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ కంపల్సరీ వీ నీడ్ టు కలెక్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద క్లయింట్స్ ఓన్లీ. ఎందుకంటే క్లయింట్సే కదా మనకి ఇచ్చేది సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డిజైన్ చేయమని. ఇప్పుడు ఒక అతను వచ్చి నాకు ఈ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కావాలి అని అడుగుతాడు. దెన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కావాలని అడిగినప్పుడు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ప్రోగ్రామర్ ఏం అడుగుతాడు, మీకు ఆ సాఫ్ట్వేర్తో ఏం పని చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు, ఆ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎలాంటి ఆపరేషన్స్ చేయాలి, ఇలాంటివన్నీ కూడా ఫస్ట్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. సో దట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ విల్ ప్రొవైడ్ బై ద క్లయింట్స్ ఓన్లీ. ఇక్కడ క్లయింట్స్ అంటే ఎవరైతే మనకు ఆఫర్ ఇస్తున్నారో డెవలప్ చేయమని, ఎవరైతే మనకి ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కోసం మనీ పే చేస్తున్నారో, సో దోస్ పర్సన్స్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ క్లయింట్స్. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ స్టెప్ మీనింగ్ ఈజ్ వాట్? డిటర్మైన్ ద స్టెప్స్ దట్ మస్ట్ బి టేకెన్ టు పర్ఫార్మ్ ద టాస్క్. మీరు ప్రాజెక్ట్ హ్యాండ్ ఓవర్ చేసుకున్నాక, ప్రాజెక్ట్ డెవలప్మెంట్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాక, ఆ క్లయింట్కి కావాల్సిన ఆ స్టెప్స్, క్లయింట్కి కావాల్సిన ఆ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎలాంటి ఆప్షన్స్తో బిల్ట్ అవ్వాలి, ఐ మీన్ ఎలాంటి ఆప్షన్స్తో కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ అవ్వాలి ఆ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అనేదాన్ని మీరు డిసైడ్ అవ్వాలి. ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యు ఆర్ ద డెవలపర్, ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ యు ఆర్ ఏ డెవలపర్. ఐ మే కరెక్ట్ ఆర్ నాట్? సో కంపల్సరీ ఫస్ట్ వీ నీడ్ టు కలెక్ట్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఫ్రమ్ ద క్లయింట్స్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ అబౌట్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్. After that, if you want to develop that project, what are the requirements we need? That requirements we need to determine. We need to determine that requirements, and after that, after developing this software, which operation need to perform. So these all steps we need to understand first. Then only the software design will starts. And next, so these two steps definitions are given here. And first one is understand the task that the program is to perform. Understand the task that the program is to perform. The programmer must have to understand the task to develop a program and to do a particular task. Am I correct or not? నేను చెప్పింది కరెక్టే కదా. ఇప్పుడు నేను ముందు మీకు చెప్పింది కూడా అదే, సేమ్ అదే నోట్స్లో కూడా ఉంది. ఎలా? ఫస్ట్ మనం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ని కలెక్ట్ చేయాలి క్లయింట్ నుంచి. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ ఎందుకు కలెక్ట్ చేయాలి? వాళ్ళకి ఎటువంటి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కావాలో వాళ్ళు మాత్రమే చెప్పగలరు. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ వాళ్ళ ఆలోచనలు, అంటే వాళ్ళ థాట్స్ని మనం కలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని బేస్డ్ ఆన్ అవర్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్, విచ్ ఈస్ ద ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్ వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్, దట్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డెవలప్ యాజ్ పర్ క్లయింట్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్. వీ హ్యావ్ టు డెవలప్ అవర్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ యాజ్ పర్ క్లయింట్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్, determine the steps that must be taken to perform the task. Once you understand the task that the program will perform, you begin by breaking down the task into series of your steps like a programs. Once you understand the task, I mean after understanding our task that the program will perform, program ఎటువంటి operations perform cheyalo, here we need to determine, and you begin by breaking down the task into a series of steps like algorithms. ఫస్ట్ మనం డిజైన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఒక ప్రీ ప్లాన్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ని కంపల్సరీ వీ నీడ్ టు డ్రా. Here we need to draw pre-plan architecture. So that pre-plan architecture, how we can draw? Here also we have to use some tools, predefined tools. Already those tools have defined by some past programmers. We just use that tools by design a process, by design a architecture. Programmers commonly use two tools for design programs. For designing purpose, programmers commonly use two tools. What are they? Pseudocode and flowcharts. Pseudocode, flowcharts. ప్రీ-ప్లాన్ దేనికి యూజ్ చేస్తామమ్మా స్టూడెంట్స్? ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ ప్లీజ్ కేర్ఫుల్లీ అబ్జర్వ్ హియర్. డిజైన్ అనే దాన్ని మనం ఎవరి కోసం డిజైన్ చేస్తాం? ఫర్ క్లయింట్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ పర్పస్. ఇఫ్ క్లయింట్ హ్యాస్ సాటిస్ఫైడ్ విత్ దట్ ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ ప్రీ-ప్లాన్, then they will give the project for the software company. Am I correct or not? Not only software company, మనం ఒక బిల్డింగ్ తీసుకొని కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడైనా సరే, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ ఏ బిల్డింగ్, కంపల్సరీ ఇంజనీర్ విల్ డ్రా వన్ డయాగ్రామ్ నా ఫర్ దట్. సో దట్ డ్రా విల్ షో టు ద క్లయింట్స్, ఐ మీన్ who are ready to build the, I mean who are ready to invest the for constructing building purpose. ఎవరైతే ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయడానికి రెడీగా ఉంటారో వాళ్ళు మనం ఇంజనీర్ ఇచ్చే ప్లాన్ని చూసి సాటిస్ఫై అవ్వాలి. సో ఇది ఓకే అనుకున్నాక మాత్రమే ఆఫ్టర్ కన్ఫర్మేషన్ దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ ద యాక్చువల్ వర్క్. బట్ బిఫోర్ యాక్చువల్ వర్క్ కంపల్సరీ వీ నీడ్ టు డూ some predefined plan, I mean some pre-design, nothing but a pre-plan. If the pre-plan is confirmed by the clients, after that the actual work will start. So if you want to design a pre-plan, for that purpose compulsory, for that purpose programmers need to use two tools. What are they? Pseudocode and next one flowcharts. Pseudocode, next one flowcharts. Now we have to understood about the pseudocode. What is the meaning of pseudocode? The word pseudo means fake. So pseudocode is also fake code. Pseudocode is also fake code because of it is not actual work na. For client understanding purpose, we have to do the plan as a rough format. మనం ఒక ప్లాన్ డిజైన్ చేస్తాం, ఒక పేపర్ వర్క్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ పేపర్ వర్క్. హియర్ యూ నీడ్ టు అబ్జర్వ్ హియర్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ ఏ పేపర్ వర్క్. ఇఫ్ యూ డ్రా వన్ డయాగ్రామ్, client will see that diagram. Okay, this this option is available in this place and this option is available in this place. Okay, this pattern is I'm okay. Like that, clients will satisfy. If the client is okay, then the actual work will start. Here pseudocode means it is a fake code. It is an informal language that has no syntax rules and not compiled and executed. ఇప్పుడు ఒక డిజైన్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళు కంపల్సరీగా వాళ్ళు ఏమి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయరు, ఆ డిజైన్ని డైరెక్ట్గా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయరు. అది కన్ఫర్మ్ అయ్యాకే యాక్చువల్ కోడ్లో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తారు. సో అది దీన్ని ఇలా క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఇలాంటి ఆప్షన్ వస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు ఒక ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ కానీ స్నాప్డీల్ కానీ అమెజాన్ కానీ తీసుకోండి. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, ఇఫ్ యూ సెలెక్ట్ వన్ ఐటమ్ అండ్ యాడ్ టు కార్ట్ నా, ఇఫ్ యూ సెలెక్ట్ వన్ ఐటమ్ ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ యాడ్ టు కార్ట్. కార్ట్ మీన్స్ ఒక ప్లేస్లో ఇది ఈ ఆప్షన్ వెళ్ళి యాడ్ అవుతుంది కదా. సో ద డిజైన్ విల్ సాటిస్ఫై ద క్లయింట్ ఫస్ట్. ఇఫ్ ద క్లయింట్ హ్యాస్ సాటిస్ఫైడ్, immediately actual work will start by the programmers. So the pseudocode is also only for diagrammatic features. It contain only one normal code, fake code. Fake code means here you observe in the down I given one diagram here. While writing pseudocodes, programmers can focus on the program design. While writing pseudocodes, programmers can focus on the program design and nothing but a pre-plan. Only draw on the papers. Only draw the diagrams on the papers. If the paperwork is over, if the client has satisfied that paperwork, immediately the actual work will start. So the pseudocode format is like this. Here one example I given. Here is an example of how you might write pseudocode for the pay calculating program. Here the wages worker salary payment program. Here I given one pseudocode, fake code. All of you please carefully observe. In this, here any programming syntax we have? No. Directly informal language we have written here. Informal language. In informal language we have written a normal words. But as a programmer, you should understand here what is we have. What is the content we have? Input the hours worked. Input the hours worked. Now I am showing as a diagrammatic format. Diagrammatic format. So this is one. What is that? Hours, working hours. Working hours. Working hours equal to 10 hours. Okay na? 10 hours. So a person, for example, one person working hours 10 hours. Here we are calculating payment amount based on his work. The hourly rate is what? Second is one hourly rate. Per hour, how much rate? The company will give hour rate 50 rupees. Okay. Hourly rate is 50 rupees. Third one is what? Calculate gross pay as hours worked multiplied by pay rate. Multiplied by pay rate. Here working hours 10 hours. Hour rate is 50. So 10 into 50 multiplying na. 10 into 50 equal to 500. 500 rupees he gained it. He got 500 rupees and display the gross pay. Finally, this output we want to display on the screen. And this is the program. 500 rupees. Final output. Now understand na how to calculate a wages, how to calculate a person salary, per day. Just you just to please understand this process. Just assume here what is, if you want to write any program, compulsory some syntax rules we have to follow here. But this is the pseudocode. Pseudocode is nothing but a fake code. What purpose we have to design this one? Only client understanding purpose. Only client understanding purpose. So client syntaxes can understand now. He can't understand syntaxes. If he know the syntaxes, then why he will give the project for the software company? Directly he will design na. Directly he will design. Am I correct or not? So that's why for client understanding purpose, compulsory we need to write a fake code. Nothing but a pseudo code we have to write here. And by reading these lines, this is normal informal language na. In the English format we have to write each and every step. What are the process it is going on in the project. So if the process is okay if the process is over and selected by the client, then the actual work will start by the developers. So this is the fake code. That means this fake code not contain any syntaxes, and this fake code is not compiled, and this fake code is not executed also. Just it is a paperwork. By reading these lines, client can understand, okay, this process is going on, so it is useful, so no problem. So you have to develop, you have to carry on your project directly, you have to develop. So they will give the suggestion and the actual work will start. Each statement in the pseudocode represent an operation that can be performed in a Python. Nothing but a simple word, fake code. Now understand na? This is one tool. Design document ela create chestaru by using two tools only here. What are they? Pseudocode and flowcharts. Pseudocodes and flowcharts. Pseudocode is a fake code. By understanding client need to understand this pseudocode. After that, actual work will start. If a client will give the clarity, okay, this project is, now I can understand. You have to carry on, you have to develop your project directly. So that instruction, if the client will pass, immediately start project work will start by the programmers. Pseudocode designing only for client understanding purpose. If client is accepted, then the actual work will start. Next, one more option is there na, flowcharts. Flowcharts means here directly line by line, step by step we have to discuss na. Here step by step we have to discuss. Input the hours worked, input the hourly pay rate, and calculate gross pay as hours worked multiplied by the pay rate. After that, display the gross pay. Display the gross pay. Output we need to show output na. So like that. So this entire process will shown for the only for client understanding purpose, not only programmers purpose. So if this is okay for the client, if it is okay by the client, then the actual work will start. And next one, flowcharts. Flowcharts is also one more tool to design a document, software document. So flowcharting is another tool that programmers use to design programs. Flowcharting is another tool that programmers use to design a programs. So a flowchart is a diagram that graphically represents. A flowchart is a diagram that graphically represents the steps in a program. The steps in a program. Below figure shows how you might create a flowchart for the pay calculating program. All of you please carefully observe the above example also given in this flowchart is also start symbol, input the hours worked, input the hourly pay rate. After that, multiplying these two options, hour and into per hour rate. So 10 hours, 10 into 50, 500. Here multiplying, after that display the output and end the process. First start the process, end the process. All of you carefully observe here. Flowcharts, it is the execution flow, it is indicating na, how the program is executing by using flowcharts. That is indicating by using flowcharts only. So client can understand here step by step, but the execution process also, by looking this diagram, immediately he can understand, okay, this execution flowing is direction is from starting to ending, this direction it is flowing, the data is flowing in this direction. So by looking this diagram, immediately client can understand. Not only clients, by looking this diagram, programmers also can understand the how data is flowing from one direction to another direction. Here a simple diagram I given, but if it is a big project, the directions will change by decisions. The directions will change by decisions. Already you have learnt in the C language. Conditional statement you have learnt na, if condition, if else condition. If the block is true, then if block will execute. If block is false, if the expression is false, immediately the else statements will execute. Am I correct or not? Like that. Here also, by looking this diagram, we can understand the execution flow of data. Now, here some points given for the flow charts. Notice there is 3 types of symbols in the flow chart. What are they? Ovals, parallelograms, and rectangle, and a rectangle. Here what is the oval? Starting point and ending point. Round circles we have na. These two are indicating start the process and stop the process. The first one is start the process. This is this symbol. This circle symbol is we have na. We have circle symbol. This symbol is called oval. OVAL, oval symbol. And this oval symbol is indicating only start the process and end the process. And next one, parallelograms. This is input hours calculated, input the hourly pay rate, and displaying outputs. Nothing but parallelograms by reading inputs, by showing output. These two are inputs, this is output. This symbol is indicating inputs and outputs, operations. And next one, rectangle symbol. Here calculating the process na. Here one process is going on. What is that? Multiplying first input to first input by second input. It is multiplying these two inputs. In this process is multiplying these two inputs. After that it will produce the output. So this diagram is indicating each and every process for our requirement project. Am I correct or not? Here just one example given, but each and every program has not shown this diagram. Each and every program, this execution flow, this symbols is also will change by other programs. So according to, already we have taken one program na, pseudocode purpose, input the hours worked, input the hourly pay rate, calculating these two inputs, after that display the output. This is pseudocode. So based on this example only, I am taken this symbol. So if your project is some other related, then that diagram is also will indicating in other direction also. Not only this direction, the symbols also will change. But start symbol, end symbol. For that purpose, we have to use these two symbols. For inputs and outputs, compulsory we need to use for the flowcharts. For the flowcharts, we need to use inputs and outputs, parallelogram symbols we have to use. And next one, if you want to do any process, addition operation, multiplication, division, subtraction, modulus, and two strings comparisons, some process is going on. So that process is indicating by giving rectangle symbols only, it is indicating. And these all points are also related to the diagram. Now let's once again we have to understand each and every point. The vowels which appear at the top and bottom, of the flow chart. Now I already told you na, the vowel symbol is what purpose you have to use. Here vowel symbol is what? Start symbol and end symbol. Nothing but here start means computer can start, the terminal can start, and the terminal will end. Here terminal means in the computer terminology it is also one device, nothing but a computer here. If you want to do any programming, compulsory, if you want to start that program na, and also after completed your program execution, immediately the process also will end by the software. So the start process and end process here showing with an oval symbols. You are always showing with oval symbols here. Here each and every symbol has their own functionality. It is indicating in the flowcharts. But each and every symbol has their own functionality. If you want to start your process, compulsory oval symbol. Like that, if you want to stop that process, oval symbol we have to use. If you want to take an input and outputs, compulsory parallelogram symbols we have to use. Parallelogram, nothing but it is not a rectangle. All of you please carefully observe here. Cross symbol we have, rectangle is in the cross direction. So the cross direction symbols indicating inputs and outputs. That is also here, the definition is also showing like this. Parallelogram are used as input symbols and output symbols. They represent steps in which the program reads input or displays output. And next one, third one is rectangles. Rectangles are used as a processing symbols. They represent steps in which the program performs some process on data, such as mathematical calculation. Here, according to we have taken one example. According to our taken example, here one process is going on. Input rate is what? 10 hours, for example. 10 hours a person worked, and the hourly rate, the paying rate is given by the company is 50 rupees. The 10 into 50, the process is going in this box, rectangular box. So that process is also indicating rectangular box only. And next, last one, the symbols are connected by arrows. The symbols are connected by arrows that represent the flow of the program. Here arrow symbols are there, start arrow, input taken, first input taken, second input taken, after that one process is going on, and after the display the output, and after the completion of this entire process, immediately end that process. So these all are indicating by arrow marks. All of you please carefully observe this diagram. Now understand about the flowcharts, about the pseudocode. Actually, what purpose we can use this design process? For client understanding purpose. Client does not know any syntaxes. Client does not know any programming languages. So that's why one fake document we need to create. So client understanding purpose, pseudocode we have to design. Pseudocode means for our program, each and every step by step, we have to write in the sentence format by using not any syntaxes. If the client syntaxes understand, the program development is taking by the client, their own development they have to do. Again, they need to give some other programmer's purpose. So that's why client understanding purpose, pseudocode we have to design. And next one, in the designing process, these two techniques, compulsory programs need to understand these two techniques. First, understand the task. After that, what options we have to use in this, which operation they need, the software we need to perform. These all those things need to know about the programmers. By the programmers. First, understand the task. After that, program concept is understanding by the clients. All those things we have to discuss in this process. Next, determine the steps. Determine the steps also. After understanding the concept, which operation the program need to perform. The step is over now. After that, actual code is starting now. After understanding the concept, they need to develop directly. So after that, determine the steps. What are the requirements they need? What are the options we have to take in for that? We will take for that. Everything we have to understand, and everything programmer need to determine here only. So by designing any software, compulsory one pre-plan must be required for client understanding purpose. If client has satisfied that pre-plan, immediately actual work will start. So that pre-plan has, if you want to design a pre-plan, compulsory two tools we need to use. First one is pseudocode and second one is flowcharts. First one is pseudocode and second one is flowcharts. Pseudocode is nothing but a fake code. Pseudocode is nothing but a fake code. Pseudo means it is a fake word. So pseudocode is also fake. It is informal language. Informal means nothing but a normal flow language. Just step by step in the sentence format we have to write. All of you carefully observe in this diagram. Here any syntaxes we have applied now? No, there is no syntax in this example. Input the hours worked, input the hourly pay rate. Actually, which example we have taken? All of you carefully observe in this sentence. Here is an example of how you might write pseudocode. ఎలా రాస్తాం సూడో కోడ్ అని చెప్పి ఆ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ చెప్తున్నాను. ఫర్ ద పే క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్. సూడో కోడ్ రాయడానికి ఒక పర్సన్ పే అమౌంట్ ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తావు, అవర్లీ రేట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తావు కదా, ఆ స్టెప్స్ అన్ని ఎలా రాస్తావు సూడో కోడ్లో అని చెప్పి ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను మీకు చూపించాను. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ సూడో కోడ్. Here we have taken one example only. Here I have taken one example. I am bolding. All of you look at the screen. The example name is pay calculating program. For that program, this pseudocode has written. Now the client can read this line by line. Client can understand. Okay, this process is going on in my project. Okay, you can proceed. Then the actual work will start. And second tool is flowchart. Flowchart is nothing but how the process is going on from one direction to another direction. By looking this diagram, we can understand the flow of data and execution process. So starting to ending, here this much symbols, these many symbols we have to use in this. All of you carefully observe this diagram. Start symbol is oval symbol and input and input. Here two inputs we have taken. First input purpose parallelogram symbol and next one second input parallelogram symbols. These two are inputs, and for output purpose also same symbol we have to use. If you want to develop any programs also, we are depending on that process, depending on that taking inputs, you need to use these symbols only. Other symbols we can't use. But program to program, direction will change, symbols will not change. Directions will change, symbols will not change. Next, input the hourly pay rate, all those things. After for the calculating, if you want to do any process in the program, that process is indicating with rectangular symbol. The process is indicating with rectangular symbol. After that, display the output and end the symbol. For starting and ending, oval symbols. For inputs and outputs, parallelogram symbols. And next, for the process purpose, rectangular symbols we have to use. Here arrow marks is showing for the direction, flow of execution direction, it is indicating the arrow marks. So all of you please carefully observe this diagram. Flowchart is very simple. Flowchart and pseudocode understanding is very simple. These two techniques are we are using where only in the designing process only in the designing process. So here by looking this diagram, clients also can understand the execution flow is going like this. At the same time, programmers also sometimes will confuse in the development time. While development time, programmers also will confuse. Because of here we have simple code. 4 lines, 5 lines of code we have. So based on this, we can easily understand. But it is a big project. So each and every project minimum contain 1 lakh lines. Without 1 lakh lines, the project is not a big project. It is a mini project. So 1 lakh lines is minimum amount of lines. So in the 1 lakh lines code, the program is executing in which direction to which direction, we can't understand. So by looking these diagrams, immediately we can understand, okay, this flow is going on in this direction, this flow is going on in this direction. Like that we can understand by looking these diagrams. So flowcharts are useful, the direction of execution flow. Flowcharts are useful for the programmers to identify the direction of execution flow of our program. Now understand now? And this is the process of designing a programming techniques. Explain about the design process of a program. So pre-plan we need to understand. Without pre-plan we can't execute, without pre-plan we can't develop a software project, because of that is the mandatory rule of software industry. Software industry, compulsory paperwork, documentation must be required. Okay now friends, students, all of you, I hope you understand this session. I hope you enjoyed this session. So please be carefully observe line by line, then only you have to understand. Okay students, thank you. In the next session we will discuss about the input processing and output. This is the major concept. అందరూ కూడా కేర్ఫుల్గా నేర్చుకోండి. Python is nowadays Python is a popular language. So if you want to get easily, then Python is the right choice for you. If you want a job on the Python software, it is the right choice. Python basics you need to learn first. After that, advanced technologies you have to learn. But fundamental concepts must and should be required. So that's why each and everything we have to learn. Okay students, thank you. Thanks for your cooperating. I hope you enjoyed this session. In the next session, we will discuss about the input processing and output. Thank you very much.